Whew. Hey guys, it's the American Pool Guy. Thank you so much for being understanding towards the long break that I had to take while I was moving my wife and I into the new place. And I'm actually coming straight into it saying, what the heck is happening to the American family? Socially, the family in America is falling apart. According to statistics, in 1960, 87% of kids had two married parents in the home, while 9% of kids had single parents. But in 2014, we see a huge drop where 61% of kids have two married parents in the home and 26% of kids live in single parent homes. We're also seeing that about 45% of marriages end in divorce. And second and third marriages, after those initial marriages, they have even higher rates of divorce. Now, what is this actually doing to future generations and their chances of success? Well, what we know from statistics is that it leads to financial difficulty for those future generations and also educational hardships because you don't have the support of a stable family environment for those kids to be raised in. Also, in 2004, we saw a study that was done that showed that kids that come from a broken home have a 4.5 times increased chance of developing an emotional disorder when compared to kids that came from a stable family home. Also, check this out. If you look at a list of the 27 most deadly mass shooters in the US, you will notice that only one of them was actually raised by their biological father from childhood. For the next couple months, I'm going to be talking about something that's very important, but it will make some people uncomfortable because some people want to believe that we are inherently good and that everybody wants what is best for everyone. But when we start to break down the reasons why the foundation of our society is really just falling apart, and it all starts with the family and the stability of the American family, we start to see that there are two major principles that are fading away in our society: self-responsibility and selflessness. Self-responsibility is going away, and we see this by everybody is playing the blame game nowadays. Well, it's your fault. Well, it's your fault. Well, I can't deal with my wife because XYZ. Well, I can't deal with my husband because XYZ. And my parents are stupid because they think that XYZ. Guys, self-responsibility means that you stop playing the blame game on each other and instead you take it upon yourself to think, what can I be doing better in my life, in my family, in my group of friends that will better the environment? Not, well, things would be better if they just did their job better. I know that a lot of people like to hate on Bill Belichick and the Patriots, but I am a big New England fan. And Bill Belichick, he has a standard, he has a motto in his football team, which is do your job. Stop worrying about what the lineman's doing, the quarterback's doing, the running back's doing. If you have a job, a linebacker or XYZ, do your job. If you just focus on your job only, then the team's going to work together like a well-oiled machine. And look, the Patriots win a lot of games. The same thing can be said for the family. Instead of everybody playing the blame game with each other, everybody needs to refocus. We all need to refocus on what is our job, how can we do it better? And selflessness is starting to fade into the distance because too much emphasis is being put on how can I find a love that will fit my lifestyle? How can I find somebody, a significant other that will shape themselves to me? How can this love benefit me? It's all about me. Guys, agape love, the love that's talked about in God's Word, in the Bible, it's a selfless love. It all begins with self-sacrifice, not worrying about what your wife can do for you or what your husband can always do for you, but what can you do for them? And with the fading away of these two major character principles comes more dysfunctional, unhappy, and ultimately broken families, which leads to more broken futures for the kids. The family is the foundation of our society, and statistics are showing us that it is falling apart. So what can we do? Is there anything that we, our generation, can do? Absolutely. There is so much hope for the American society and our generation. God gave every man, woman, and child a job to do that will bring more peace and joy into the home. All we need to do is refocus on what our job is, accept the responsibility, and love selflessly. And with that, I would like to announce the start of my first series, A Family to Save America. Now, this series is designed for millennial Christians, but I'm not saying that people who are not Christians can't benefit as well from these lessons from the Bible. It's just that it helps if you have already a foundation in the knowledge of God's Word. But if you're coming from a home that's broken, or you want answers, or you want comfort, and you're not necessarily a Christian, hey, you're welcome to stick around, learn. You can benefit from God's Word just like anybody else can. In this series, we're going to be refocusing on specific roles in the family and the instructions that God has given to those roles in order for there to be a more peaceful, loving, and joyful home environment. Specific roles such as husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, children and siblings, and singles as well. We will be going through the Bible and focusing on each individual role and God's divine plan for that role in the family. Also, how each role brings their own exclusive and vital blessings and benefits to the family that leads to more strong bonds that aren't easily broken. So please join me every Monday for a new installment of this series, and tell your friends and family or somebody who you think will benefit from this series. It is not easy in this self-serving world that we live in to fix the family, but we can! We can fix the American family. We can fix our society. We have the answers. We have the tools. God has given them to us. The question is, will we accept that responsibility? And will we take on that challenge? Because if we don't, and we put those answers to the side and think, nah, we can do it on our own, and we continue down that dark path that we are seeing, that statistics are showing us just leads to more broken homes, then in the future, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. This is the American Pool Guy, and I will talk to you guys later.